Futuristic tech gadgets redefining tomorrow's world. The World Economic Forum places a high importance on innovation, since it is essential to both the future well-being of society and the stimulation of economic growth, both of which are significant focus areas. The technology pioneer community was established by the forum in the year 2000 to provide support for the previous two pillars. The community is made up of startups and growth stage companies from all over the world that are engaged in the conception, development, and implementation of novel technologies and ideas, and are positioned to have a substantial influence on commercial and societal spheres. Their forecasts for the not-too-distant future include, among other things, the development of more advanced technologies like Web3 and quantum, as well as the management of flexible grids and on-demand manufacturing. Number 5. Those who have been denied credit in the past by traditional financial institutions will finally have access to it. Gig work is going to become the most common type of employment shortly, as a result of a dramatic increase in the number of people who have access to the internet all over the world, as well as the expansion of digital labor marketplaces or platforms. This trend has significant repercussions for individuals with low levels of education and blue-collar jobs, who typically account for more than 80% of the labor force in developing countries. Internet platforms in e-commerce, food delivery, ride-sharing, logistics, and other related fields have minimal barriers to entry, and as a result, they are offering a multitude of earning opportunities in nations where there aren't enough jobs for populations with low levels of education and training. The potential profits of workers can be increased by simultaneously engaging with many platforms. Soon, online labor marketplaces will incorporate financial services into their offerings, which will open the door to credit for a large number of people who are currently neglected by traditional financial institutions. In the not-too-distant future, technology will make it possible for people to maintain financial stability and discipline without having to acquire essential information. The widespread use of AI and machine learning advisors will genuinely democratize growth and financial well-being. These advisors will continually recommend the next job, investment, or online education to us, and they will become more and more pervasive. Number 4. The use of Web3 technology will completely change the way business is conducted, in about the same manner as Web2 technology improved people's access to information. By the year 2025, Web3 technologies will have completely transformed the business sector. In a future open, liquid, and digital market, both physical and digital, items will be able to be listed and traded. During the early days of the internet, the majority of information was stored and accessed only through private online networks. However, the fact that there are no marginal costs associated with distribution, together with the demand from customers, led to the development of a single, open, and searchable internet today. It is easy to understand why the business world has been slower to adopt new technologies. Trust is necessary when dealing with the exchange of physical assets, because of the necessity to control the risk of the counterparties, mediate disputes, and ensure settlement. This faith is placed in trustworthy intermediates or trusted vendors, depending on the situation. As a direct consequence of this, the majority of e-commerce transactions take place within one of several closed, proprietary systems. The development of Web3 technology has made it possible to automate the settlement process using smart contracts and tokenize the commerce transactions involving real assets, so that they can be converted into a universal standard using NFTs. In the same way that the money Lego applications of decentralized finance have started to unbundle traditional finance, an ecosystem of decentralized commerce Lego protocols and apps will eventually grow to create an open marketplace for things, in which everyone will be able to share in the value that is created by the things. Number 3. The data sector will become more accessible and less expensive to the general public. Over the last decade, there has been a meteoric rise in the quantity of information often known as data, about both our cosmos and ourselves. But with this massive development comes a whole host of problems. Data privacy, administration, access, and affordability are some of the most hotly debated topics among both individuals and political leaders. Who has ownership of my data? Is my phone keeping tabs on my every move? What kind of profits are businesses earning off of it? These questions are growing more important as businesses continue to acquire our data, regardless of whether we pay them or permit them to do so, and regardless of whether we give them our consent. There are also ongoing problems in fields such as the financial industry. Why am I being forced to pay an arm and a leg for market data? As more and more entrepreneurs enter the field over the next several years, we will see technology in the data industry become more inclusive and affordable. This is provided that governments continue to allow it. Number 2, in the future, the human experience will be the primary focus of our attention. By the year 2027, we will view our current digital interactions in the same manner that we do today when we think about our carbon emissions. The risks of technology that is developed without humans at the center, as well as the adverse impacts that technology may have on our mental health and emotional wellness, have been brought to light by social media. What we eliminated from our connections 10 years ago, humanity, closeness, depth, and empathy, are the things that we are now lacking. Actual dialogues rather than the impact of the masses. Interactions that bring us a sense of closer proximity to one another. In the future, we are going to put more of an emphasis on the human experience. The paradigm shift that will occur during the transition to the metaverse will not be one involving technology but rather sociology. The expression of our feelings will play a significant role in the development of the metaverse. This will be made possible by developments in technology, such as augmented and virtual reality, as well as brain-computer interfaces. There will be an introduction of new pieces of hardware, platforms, disciplines, and senses. In the online world, where feelings, trust, and safety are less tangible than in the real world, we will reimagine the social contracts that govern our interactions. We will move away from a centralized control model for the platform experience in favor of the individual. We will comfort our kid by gently petting her when we are separated by an ocean. We will remember our grandmother, who went away recently, by holding her hand. We won't forget the significance of those fleeting moments. Our shared experiences as humans will serve as the focal point of our communications with one another. Number 1. Efforts made towards sustainability will be supported by construction powered by batteries. The urbanization of humanity is a major contributor to the growth of the construction industry, which is responsible for roughly 40% of the world's total CO2 emissions. Construction projects continue to be powered by fossil fuels, which results in an annual emission of around 500 million tons of carbon dioxide. Noise and exhaust gases from the burning of fossil fuels are also detrimental to the health of workers and the air quality in the surrounding area. This is going to change very quickly. Battery energy storage systems, ESSs, that are optimized for building sites are becoming increasingly popular in the business world. These systems cut carbon emissions by up to 80%, with the remaining 20% coming from the carbon produced by the power required to recharge the ESSs. The commercialization of the electrification of mobile construction machines is also making significant headway. All of this is made possible by developments in the technology behind lithium-ion batteries, long-duration energy storage systems, ESSs, which only need to be recharged weekly, monthly, or for longer periods. Make off-site recharging from solar or wind farms a genuine prospect for the future. Flow batteries, non-lithium-ion non-flow batteries, gravity-based ESSs, heat-based ESSs, and hydrogen are some of the available alternatives. However, the world is still in the process of determining which technology basis will be most effective for long-duration ESSs. Nevertheless, a winner or winners will undoubtedly emerge. In a nutshell, the future of the way we construct cities is rife with untapped possibilities. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.